Chris Murphy will be our shooting sports director again. He's also taking notes. So we're going to have this, a soft copy of what we've been discussing. We have Ashton. Ashton is his first year on full camp staff. He'll be working in the climbing area. In the back, we have our National Camp Assessment Program chair for our council, Bruce Lee. Bruce does a lot of work with the properties at camp that doesn't get seen a lot. He's also filming this, so we have a reference later for the troops that can't be here. The first thing I want to do is say thank you to Mel Cottons. Mel Cottons has been really good. Mel Cottons is a real strong partner with Scouting. They really support us. Personally, I would ask you to support them back. On a personal note, I know I've been shopping here for a long time because it's a local store. This isn't a chain, this is it. And the money you spend here stays in our community. They're very supportive of Scouting. They have been for as long as I can remember. Not that I'm old, but it's been a while. So please support Mel Cottons. Alright, so I want to start off with some great program notes. We have a couple of changes from last year. So real quick, how many people here have been to High Sierra in the last 2 or 3 years? Alright. So these are note changes for you. If you've never been to High Sierra before, this is all great stuff. So new this year, we're offering a couple of different merit badges. We'll be offering game design, welding, and search and rescue. I think these are some really exciting badges to offer. I'll do a little quick note. Game design is going to be not video game design, but like board game design. Welding, we got some welding rigs in, so we'll actually be doing welding, not just a theory. And search and rescue is going to be a lot of fun. It'll be rope work, and a really cool merit badge we're going to be offering. Scoutmaster specific training. We'll be offering Scoutmaster specific. So we'll be offering OLS, YPT, and Scoutmaster specific. So with those 3 courses, what do you have?
Trained leader.
You have a trained leader. You can take a parent up for the week. When they're done, they're a fully trained assistant Scoutmaster. I am really excited that we're offering Scoutmaster specific. We've made some substantial alterations to one of our areas. Sports, we're calling excursions. And the focus is going to be getting our boys out and doing things. So we have merged backpacking and hiking merit badge into a 2-hour course that goes into lunch. So what happens is that course will be, it won't just be you sit there and you learn the first aid. It's going to be, you get a day pack on, you hike out, you make your lunch in the woods, you play some low cope games, you hike back. And while you're out there experiencing just the miles of natural forest, you'll be learning as you go. So I'm really excited about that. Cycling, very similarly, we've taken from a merit badge where you learn some, it's mostly classroom oriented. Cycling to be another 2-hour merit badge where the whole point will be you get on a bike and you go ride. It's not a classroom merit badge anymore. I'm excited about those 2 merit badges. We're going to introduce some low cope elements to it, and it's going to be about getting the boys out in the woods, having experience they can't do in the city. So that's one area I want to highlight for you. That's going to be quite a bit different than what we had last year, which was sports. We'll still be doing the Clavey hike, which is a big favorite, but the emphasis is not going to be playing games, but going out and experiencing the outdoors. The other big change I think that I'm looking forward to is the 1:30 hour. So right after lunch, from the 1:30 to 2:30 block, completely open program. There are no merit badges scheduled except for Pinecrest because we had to do it with the bus schedule. Yeah. So
before everything used to be all the scouts. Now it's mandatory. You should keep it free to enjoy.
Yeah. And so at 1:30, they can go shoot archery. They can go climb. They can go do on a nature hike. They can go do free shoot. Completely open program. Nothing is scheduled. Everything's open. So this is just direct feedback I've had from a lot of Scoutmasters, a lot of parents. All they're doing is just sitting there learning. They're just sitting doing badges. This is a way that you can go and experience the rest of camp for an hour every day. And it's at 1:30. So it's just the prime time right after lunch. This next point is something that I know, that's why most of us are here. How do we sign up for merit badges? We have a great new system. I'm going to turn it over to Michael, who's been working really hard on getting this set up, and he'll explain it to you.
So we've kind of gone through an evolution of signing up for merit badges over the last 5 to 6 years. So we've gone from a midway where you come to camp and you maybe get what you want, maybe not, to a first generation, second generation. This is about our third generation of signups. We actually went to a company and customized and went for a solution that is not off the shelf but made directly for us. We had gone to companies that built it for the masses in the past. So we're hoping that this will meet a lot more of our direct needs this year. It's the first year using this look, but it's kind of building off of many years worth of experience. How many have seen this set of icons and have gone online and registered your troop for camp? Okay. How many have no idea what I'm talking about?
This year.
This year.
Well, I thought we can't do that till May 1st.
So here's the great question that Maureen asked. So when can we register boys for merit badge classes? When can we register boys? So we had a lot of feedback in the past that it was really rushed the day of to enter all the boys' information correctly and accurately and register them for classes. So what we've done is taken that and made it a two-step process.
Great.
Just like college, when a boy goes off to college, you register for UC Santa Cruz, and then when the quarter opens up,
can I give you a call back in a little bit? I'm in the middle of a meeting right now.
You can register for classes.
Okay,
exact
thanks.
same thing here. So this is kind of the welcome login page. You log in. Each troop has one login per troop. That's a change from years past, and we'll kind of walk through what that means. The system generates one username and password per troop, and your main troop contact gets that information, whoever you put as primary contact. So I've got a list here tonight of who's done that and who's not, where you're at in status. So the system will let me know if you have have you registered 0 boys and 0 adults, or if you're Troop 390 and registered 46 boys and 0 adults. And it will put it in there and it will log it every time you add people to it. And we're happy to, no, we don't want you to log off. Off of memory. So this is a great teaching moment to make sure your IT director gets your stuff prepared for meetings. Yes, Maureen?
So while Aaron's busy getting you logged on.
Yes.
This is the first I heard of this, and I thought I'd read all your emails and communications. Does this mean that my kids are not registered to camp now?
No. So what it means is, between now and May 1st, all you need to do is go online and register them for camp. Everybody's got to log in.
Okay.
Everybody's got a limited number of kids' spaces that they can register for.
So this is a list of the kids' names.
Exactly. So basically, when we bring it up, it's the use first name, last name, date of birth, email address, and the basic kind of information.
For the kids?
For the kids. And as accurate as you know it.
Accurate as I know it.
As you know it. So if you need to, youth or parents email is fine.
Okay.
What we want to be able to do is have a full electronic roster that we can make sure that we can check against the Scouts registration information. So you won't have to turn in a roster at camp. This will be your roster. So that's the nice thing about it. It has all the required information, so it removes one more step at check-in. So we are listening, I promise. It's editable at any time, so we want you to put as much and complete information to start. We can always come back to it. It's also where we register the adults, and they can register for their classes as well. Dave?
What's the email you are you contacting with email? So if I use the Scout's email, you're contacting the Scout directly, or is the email going to be used to contact the parent?
So it's both. I mean, so what we're trying to do
Both
is,
doesn't work. 'Cause it's
I know.
not going to communicate with the parent.
So what we're trying to do is be able to contact the families. So if it's a scout of 15, 16, you're going to put their email. If it's an 11-year-old scout, you're going to put the parents. What we're trying to do is be able to give the scouts a little bit better clue and participate in things a little bit earlier and have maybe a sense of community. And we're also trying to, for scouts that are 15, 16, 17, we'll try to see if they're interested in other programs that they might participate in, like a provisional week at camp, a staff position, all those fun things. So use your best judgment. It's still in there.
Are you serious? I mean, part of that is if you go to the parents, that's one thing. But if all of a sudden they're checking, the kids are getting bombarded by you guys, parents, you're going to have some really upset parents.
So we asked for all this information for the last 2 years, so it's not new. It's been on the last 2 years worth of sign-up forms.
So have you used it?
It's been
Yeah.
optional, I think.
It's been optional.
I never put it in.
Yeah. So, and some people just put one email in. We have one troop that just does that. I'm relying on you guys to make your best judgment call. I'm not saying that I need it. It's something that helps us be a better community as Camp High Sierra.
The one big caveat you have here is that only works if you have boys who actually read their emails.
Well, it only works if leaders read their emails as well. And I was at High Sierra yesterday, and I came back to 15 voicemails and 90 emails. So a lot of that to do with this meeting today and other things. So we all get bombarded, and we try to keep it as timely of communication as well. And we use an email system that allows them to opt out very easily. So kind of going over this, so it's what we're requiring for youth and adults are asking for. First name, last name, patrol if they've got it. So it'll give you an output as a patrol roster. Address, city, state, zip, phone, birth date, email, what they are, and any special needs. So we're trying to get a system that has kind of most things together. So we'll go to the next screen. So this is my test account. So no patrol, but we've got testy on here. He signed up for 0 classes when I took this screenshot. And when you add a scout, it's under scouts. Okay, so next screen. And this is what the system will look like when you're signing up for merit badge classes.
This is off the High Sierra main page.
This is off the High Sierra main page. It's under merit badge registrations. It's a big link right now. It's same URL but .net. So it's a separate sub account basically. Website. It's a separate website. You can put your scouts information registering for college using the terms that we used earlier now. May 1st, 12 noon, you can sign up for your scouts going to classes.
That's when you sign up for Merit Badge, the same day.
Same day. Same date as last year, 12 noon, 5/1.
Why don't you suck up the scouts information from the registration?
Huh?
From the BSA registration, why don't you just suck it up from there?
So
you dump out a CSV file and you import it.
yeah, so we're not going to want to put everything in here. We want to have what I would call accurate information and other things. Yeah, your cheaper labor.
There's also the fact that we have a lot of troops from out of council
Yeah.
that come from other councils. And there's no way we can do that
Yeah,
from
but
other
you
councils.
can have ID.
No, so this is what we have now, and this is what we're gonna go with. And the intent is that your information, as far as I understand it, will be able to roll over year to year is one of the features that I've told is there. We'll see what happens next year. But the nice thing will be if Johnny Scout goes this year and Johnny Scout goes next year, you have the option to renew Johnny Scout into the new year. It's my information. This is the first year with this solution. We'll see what's going on. We went out to bid for kind of 3 top companies in the nation, and it's a company out of Visalia that a former Boy Scout professional worked with a talented programmer to put together. So it's in a dozen or so camps across the nation, a similar version of it. So go back. So we offer 7 sessions that you can sign up for this year. That includes the 1:30 block that's kind of only a very particular one. One thing in here, so I'm signed up for sessions 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. What's the only session I'm not signed up for? 2. These are the only sessions that show up below. Session 2. So if you don't qualify for age, you don't qualify as a youth or adult, if you are in a session that's a double session, it will only show you what you could sign up for. So that's a huge difference from the last system. It filters out the things that doesn't apply to the particular scout. Anytime
Filter them out
you
as they fill up as well? Does it filter them out as they fill up as well?
Yes, as far as I understand it.
This is the first come, first served program.
Yes. There is a waitlist function in this, and it's one of those things that we're going to see how it plays out in this system. So this will show you 0 people in the class, a difficulty rating, and a class size. From what I've been told is that as you're waitlisted, it will add you in once somebody drops out. We're all going to see how that comes together.
So you can't sign up for something and be waitlisted for something else. You just have to hope that you drop in.
Can you say that again?
So his comment was, if you're signed up as in the wait list, you can't be signed up for something else because it's going to take you and automatically add you to that section.
As opposed to eliminate what you're currently in.
Yeah.
Does it bump previous sign-up?
I don't believe it bumps previous signups.
So if you're signed up for archery session 1, you can't be waitlisted for riflery session 1. And it won't drop you from archery and add riflery, for instance?
Yeah, that's my understanding.
It will not do that.
It will not do that. And we'll take the note and I'll play with the test system and to see if we can get a better answer on that. Because one thing that we use these leaders meetings for is making sure we fully understand every question that a Scoutmaster is going to ask. And until we have this, we don't know. So Chris will take the note.
I make a point on this though. The one thing that I'm looking forward to, we've never really been able to tell demand. Because what we see in demand is just, a lot of kids signed up for weather at 10 o'clock. And we don't know if that's because weather's really popular or if it's because the kids all wanted to do X, Y, or Z at 10 and weather is what's left. So with the wait list on our end, what we're really looking for is that allows us to look at that and say, we need to open up another session of X, Y, or Z.
But that will only be useful if I can sign something else up and waitlist for something else. Because that will show demand. I got to get in something,
Yeah.
but I want something else over what I'm currently in.
That's-
And that will show demand.
Yeah.
Not,
So we've got the note and
Yeah.
we'll test it in the beta site.
If that's true, we can afford that.
Yeah.
So we'll take them as they come from the back toward the front. Andy,
Thank you. One thing I'd really like you to consider for next year.
speak up a little bit, I can't hear you.
Okay, one thing I'd like you to consider for next year is to have a time period which you can sign up in. So like May 1st to May 5th or whatever, and people get signed up in there, and then you kind of look at what your demand is, and then you try to accommodate people, because what's going to happen to me this year versus last year when we had 4 people from our troops signing people up furiously, And when I personally got to my 5th scout, he was starting to get bumped out and not get the classes he want. So if I have 45 scouts and I'm the one guy that can sign them up, I'm at a major disadvantage this year, okay? So for us larger and obviously also loyal troops, we'd like to have something that would be a little bit more equitable, where we have an open enrollment period. You can go in during that time, sign up, and take wait lists or whatever, optional class, because when I ask for my scouts, I ask for all of their choices and what time sessions they want, and then 5 additional merit badges in the order that they want them in. So when they, anyway.
Yeah.
That'd be, because I know this year I'm going to really I'm not going to use the word,
We'll
but it
take
starts with an
the,
S.
we'll take the note, and we're set up for 1 per troop, but there might be a size break there at 30 scouts. You get a second type of thing, so that it is somewhat fair. We're not.
It becomes inequitable immediately.
Yeah.
Because you're limited by campsite size.
Yeah.
Period.
So
you become inequitable immediately at that site. Doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't work for me with 45 guys. I got to sign up in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen. I'll just tell you that right now.
Yeah. So there's flaws in every system that we create. No matter, we're not Google. We don't have unlimited.
No, but what I'm
resources.
saying is you have an open enrollment period,
Yeah.
okay, and then you have a randomized thing that puts guys into classes, and you have an alternate classes that they take. I mean, that's what high schools do. That's what other people do. You have a period, and you sign up during that time period, so you don't have to rush in and try to do it.
Yeah. I mean, right now we're basing ourselves on a college sign-up system. So, Ashton, and then in the middle.
Is it possible to have multiple people signed into one account at the same time and sign people up?
So what we've experienced with that is basically you can be overwriting each other's data. So it is not advised. So it's designed for one person, one user, one account. We have a question in the middle.
Do you have to complete their entire request before you can move to another scout?
Absolutely not. The nice thing with this one, last year you did. You had to do 1 scout, 1 block at a time. So if you want, Andy Minker's question on, I've got 45 scouts. If he wanted to prioritize a certain badge, he wants to sign up everybody for shotgun. That's what the biggest demand, and that's what is important to his troop and his boys. He could go in and go into those per person in the scouts, click what they want, and go back and forth and add the classes and be good to go there. So that is the advantage of having a 2-step registration system. One where you're entering the scouts' data, and one when you're signing them up for classes. Coming back, yes.
I just want to clarify this. Our scout master who does this is not here tonight, so I just want to, but I know how to go years past. So in years past, there were 2 of them. You're saying now there's just 1 person doing one? Is that the difference?
So what we are currently, everybody has 1 login for all scouts, no matter if you're 5 scouts or 50 scouts. What Aaron and I will talk about after this meeting is if we want to create a break at a certain number of scouts.
First, you mentioned the filter. One of the filters being the age restriction. So if I have a scout that I sign up at 11 until 2 weeks before camp arrival time, is it calculating and letting me sign up based on their date of birth on May 1st, or is it based upon camp arrival time?
The day that you get there. So it's the Sunday that you arrive.
Okay, so it won't filter him out if he's going to be 12 on arrival.
Correct.
Okay. And then I have another question based on Andy's question. The window of opportunity to sign up begins May 1st, but is there an ending date?
Sure. So what we've done is 2 weeks ahead of your coming to camp. And with High Sierra and having a reliable internet connection to be able to download the data, I don't see that changing. So basically we freeze all signups at that point. We do a download of all the data, make class rosters, and send them out, and then and go from there. So I anticipate keeping that for High Sierra this year. Is is 2 weeks before your arrival date at camp. We'll close the window, and any other business needs to be conducted in camp. All right, 2 more questions, and then we're going to move on from this slide, and then we'll keep answering questions. Yes, sir.
If you had 2 people log on to the same account, but you split your troop roster, so they never used the same boys' names, is there any threat of overwriting?
I don't know. It's our first year using the system. It's something that we can, Chris will take the note, we'll look at the database and see if we can ask this of the designer and see how it works. When we went out for bid and we looked at this, I tried to explain the gold rush that happens with High Sierra signups, and I don't think unless you're in this room and have experienced it, other camps aren't as familiar. When we look at other camps examples, and this is for this group to decide, they open their merit badge systems based on payment and other things. I've determined that I'd rather have there be a little bit more rush and a little bit more equality with having one date. I'm welcome to other feedback offline on that. But we're moving to a question in the middle, and then next slide, and then we'll get you. Yes?
Me?
Yes.
Okay, so something new I've seen this year is this minimum age for a lot of merit badges. For some, I understand, like for shotgun, they just need to be big enough that you don't go over backwards. But we've had kids doing it, swimming in first aid their first year for going on 10 years of camp. They've had no problems. Now we suddenly have this 12 and up. We're already publicizing this information to like 15 new families.
Yeah.
And now we have to backpedal and change it. And I think that's a very artificial neighborhood.
So this is actually based on comments from Scoutmasters to me. Like that's based on feedback from a large group of people who wanted first-year scouts to stick to merit badges that were more and trail first class, and to keep the Eagle required merit badges for older scouts. So this is, I know some troops really don't like this, but the majority of feedback that I've gotten has been the opposite. They want their boys who are new scouts in trail to first class, finishing their basic requirements.
Definitely all been taken, all the first
But
years.
isn't that more of a scoutmaster troop thing where they can monitor that versus leave the kid, the one kid that can do it, can't do it?
And it's one of those things again where we're trying to make sure that we have spots for everyone. Part of this is we all know, and I've done it. I've signed up my boys and my troop for merit badges, and we all know it's a rush. And part of it is making sure that the boys who need certain merit badges the most get it. And the boy who is 17 and who's been to camp, we're trying to off-put the load and to better serve the majority of the youth. It's not a perfect system, but I just want, that's kind of like where we're coming from. The feedback that I'm getting and this kind of the principle behind it is trying to, again, to serve the most scouts to get them what they need. So I know it's not perfect, and it is in some ways artificial, because you're going to have that super achiever kid who's 13 and just right there before Eagle. But that is, to be honest, a rare situation and an exception to the norm. And if you have an issue with a particular kid, you can email me and we can talk offline about it. But on my position, I know you're trying to help your group. I have to look over the whole camp that's trying to sign up all at once.
I've had 100 kids take those 2 merit badges as 11-year-olds.
Yeah,
That's
how
why
can
I
you
call it
make,
artificial.
if I put in an artificial birthday, you can't.
Yeah, you can't. I trust you to be scout
There's
like.
no right. But
Yeah, I trust you to be scout like, to be trusted. That is what we're at. This is scouting. I'm not going to make them bring ID to prove them. But we do have a level of trust with our leaders.
The other side of this is we also have Bruce as part of our NCAP, which is a new system for us, is that the national organization is taking a different look at camps and how we interact and what advancement looks like at camp. And they're stressing the fact that a camp should be a multi-year experience, and that there are reasonable things to set aside for the second year, the third year, the fourth year, and it's part of how we get accredited to make sure we have that program. So it's part of what you'll see in many camps that are having to go with what the national accreditation program is. So
But you set it up for the honest folks, don't get what their kids want.
we set it up for scouts, and that's all we can ask for. And like Aaron said, if we need.
I promise you, I will be honest, in my kids' ages, and they won't get what they want.
Yeah.
And also just a comment. Not only this, and it's not the national or whatever you need to do, is that your assumption is predicated on the fact that you're believing that we're gonna go to your camp every single year, and we don't. We go to Pico one year, we go to Kern one year. This is our first year to do zero.
Yeah, but you will see more of, not necessarily our interpretation what is first year versus second year, but more camps having that first and second year, third year program. And each camp takes it a little bit differently. High Sierra's water is the warmest thing ever, right? So the 11-year-old scout that doesn't look like me and is the svelte might not do as well. We only shoot 12 gauge at our camp. Some camps shoot 20 gauge, so they're going to have a different requirement. We're going to move on, and I said we should take a new slide. The level of reporting and built-in reports is a lot different this year and a lot more robust. And one of the things that I'm working with the programmer on is that these items all coming out in something other than just a printable form, but an exportable form, so Excel. So I anticipate getting that before camp. That's what I'm working with the programmer for.
You can do some cool reports. That's the thing I think is really cool is you can print out a report for every one of your boys, and you have a schedule, and you can print out a master schedule for you, and you can print out a schedule for your patrol, so the patrol leader theoretically knows where all of his patrol members are, and the ASM over that patrol has it. So the reports, I think, are one of the really cool things, because it's just a lot easier to know where everyone is at once, and for your youth leaders to know that as well. So the reports is something that I think is pretty exciting about this.
Are the sessions 5 days a week?
4. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we have a makeup Friday morning, 9 to 11, 9 to 11:30. We do a flex lunch. If you've never been to our camp before, we do a barbecue 11 to 12:30. Not 1, 12:30. And we feed everybody a barbecue that day. Our counselor's available in the morning, and to accomplish any reasonable makeup. You cannot start a new merit badge Friday morning. You will give your counselor a fit. A boom, yeah.
Is there a report there that says what sessions are open or available? I'm looking through the list, people there can't read it.
No, it's dynamic when you sign up for scouts.
Okay.
There is all the sessions, but there's no. All sessions, and that is dynamic. So it has.
Like this, how many are open?
Yeah, how many are open? Yeah. We're offline, so otherwise I would show you a little bit more. If you want and you're interested, I've got a week 99 programmed into this system, and you can test how it works. So contact me and me or David Donnelly, who's our camping secretary, and we'll get you a login information, and you can play with the system and help me break it so we can make it better.
Week 9.
Week 99.
And I'm not being there for 99 weeks.
Yeah, 99 weeks. All right, we're gonna go back because this is the last slide at merit badges. We're gonna answer all your questions and then move on. Anybody with a watch on? Tell me what time it is.
7:42.
7:42. 42 minutes. Yes, ma'am. You answered it. Okay.
I have a question. Yes, I do. It seems as if this thing is still under development. It's still only in beta. It's got to go to alpha real quick with May 1st. So I'm kind of feeling not too confident in this system.
Yeah.
The
So
question is it still in beta? And are we the beta testers on May 1st?
no, because everybody uses it May 1st. It's done May 1st. So we can't anticipate your questions on what the new system can or can't do, but we can make have an understanding of what the database will or won't do, right? So the question of, can we have 2 active users in at the same thing? Because that was a Troop 390 request. Was another request. I'm sure it's common in this. Is if we have 1 login, can we divide it 5 ways if we never touch the same scouts? If we can, I'll let you know. My email is, there's business cards over here, michael.wilson@scouting.org, my first and last name.
The important thing to remember is we're not the first camp to use the software, right?
Yeah.
We're not the test camp that's doing this for the first time.
Yeah.
This is used through multiple camps.
Yeah.
This
This
is
is
our first time using it.
version 4, and they're working on version 5 of full version upgrades type of thing. So it's pretty robust. No system's perfect because it's not, and no system will ever satisfy, putting it bluntly, every IT lover we have in our battle, right? We all wanted to do more, and we all wanted to be a college or better system.
I mean, that's the point too, is I just finished law school a year plus ago, and if you think these are heated passions, wait till you sit in a room full of people who are going to debt 6+ figures, trying to sign up for that one class. It's something we're trying really hard to provide the best experience for the most boys possible. I've been on the other end signing up my scouts, and it is frustrating, but at the same time, I'm also the position that I want to make sure the most boys possible get the badges that are appropriate for them, and that's kind of the goal. So I just want to let you know, we're trying to do what's best, and what we're trying to do is provide a quality experience, because this isn't the experience, right? This isn't camp. This is all that other stuff you have to do to get to camp. But the end goal of this is that we're gonna have really great merit badge sessions. So yeah, you might sign up for weather, but they're gonna have a really fun time in weather because we hired some amazing scouts to teach those merit badges. So that's the other thing I want to say is, and maybe I'm biased because I used to teach weather, and I always had the kids that are like, I'm here because I couldn't get in the shotgun. But by the end of the week, they loved it. I made sure that those kids had a great time. And I know that I have staff that are going to do that too. That we have the kids there. We have a great staff that, yeah, your kid may want to do shotgun. He may have to wait till his 2nd year. But you know what? He's going to go to handicraft, and he's going to be amazed at all the stuff he's going to learn and the fun he's going to have. So I know I'm being a little bit of a salesman. I just want to point that out. Is we're going to give them a great time.
Yeah. And let me make a note with working with many different camps over the years to what High Sierra is and isn't. We take the fact that you're coming to a camp to have a positive merit badge experience, have a positive outdoor experience, and a class size of 15 with 2 instructors makes for a positive experience. Our class competitiveness is there because the instructor to student ratio is narrow. We don't have class sizes that are like some camps of 40 and 50 in a trail to first class. Somebody asked, so I don't think anybody's asked it tonight, but somebody asked offline, why do we have a trail to first class A and B session? The answer is because there's 2 classes and 2 instructors. So A is going to go with one instructor and B is going to go with the other. And there's going to be 30 kids between those 2 classes, but they're still going to have 1 to 15. We pride in not being the bad words of merit badge factory. We pride that we're going to provide a quality experience. And the staff that we hire, the quantity has gone up as your guys' numbers have grown. So we'll have a paid staff of 54 this year, 55, 56. When I first came on, we had a paid staff of around 46. So that's more people serving the youth that we have come to camp. Questions starting in the back, coming forward. Question here, yeah.
Does people or boys have to be signed up for qualifying times as well?
Sure, I'll let Aaron handle qualifying times and what that all means.
Actually, I'm going to defer this because we have our shooting sports director right here, Chris. And Chris is probably the best person to answer this because he's the one who's actually working with your scouts. So Chris, you want to stand up? I want to hear some of you on video.
Type my answer. See how you like it. Okay, let's see. Where are we starting? So your question was specifically about the qualifying times. I can tell you about rifle and shotgun easiest, and then you guys can extrapolate how that works with the others. So rifle. Rifle is happening where there is a class at 9 o'clock in the morning. There's actually 2 classes. So like we said, we're splitting those up into 15 to 15. But the idea is that when you sign up for rifle, you are signing up for that class time and then for qualifying time. There are 4 qualifying hours for the rest of the day. 10, 11, 1:30, 2:30. So basically the 4 hours, 2 before lunch, 2 after lunch, those are going to be the time that we want the scout to come up and qualify. And when he signs up for the 9 o'clock class, he signs up for one of those with it. They're linked together rather like the lab and lecture courses in college. Now the thing is, and I don't know if this applies to the other qualifying merit badges, but in rifle it's always been that you do not have to come up for the exact hour that you signed up for qualifying. The reason that you're signing up for qualifying is so that you have a free space, so that you can have an hour that you don't have some other nature merit badge, and you can come up and shoot that. If you wind up with another free space or other free time, you can come up then, you can shoot, you can switch it around. Hold that for just a second, let me, oh well, I forgot the thought. Say
But
it.
if you have scouts who were partial last year or the year before, and they want to just go up there and qualify.
Very good.
Left space for it.
Because I came here hoping to hit that. Well, yeah, hopefully left space for them. But also, if you have a specific one and you let me know, then you don't need to sign them up for a qualify session because they can come to camp if that's all they have to do. If shooting is all they have to do, they can come to camp and come up and shoot whenever. The one thing is you need to make sure that they're not putting a badge in all of those qualifying spaces. So you can't sign up for a qualifying session alone without signing up for the class. Some people, they'll probably sign up for the class even though they only have the shooting left. And in that case, I'll say, well, we don't need you in the class part. Now we have an extra open space. So that'll happen once in a while.
Can I have a follow-up question? Do you have the records from last year?
Well, yeah, we have some records.
Okay, because I have a few scouts who didn't bring their records of the merit badges they didn't complete because they figured, well, why bother? So.
Gotcha. We have
I thought you did.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Right, so you should have those. We can also normally work with that.
Okay, good.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, important thing to say while I'm on this though is that at 1:30, there is, at least in rifle, still, I believe, that you do sign up for the qualified time along with the class at 1:30. So if you're signed up for the 1:30 qualified time, it's at 1:30 qualify at 9 o'clock class. You may think, well, you know, can we really go and do these other things that are happening at 1:30? You can, because you don't have to come up and qualify, but just to spread it out throughout the day, we have to have people, you know, signed up so that they're kind of coming in an even pace. We can flip people around.
And the qualified time has 9 slots in it, and there's 36 in the main class, I think is the math. So it's meant to give us the most bang for our buck in getting the youth behind a rifle to qualify in an environment that is unrushed. And we have 8 positions?
8.
Well, 7 technically.
I will get to you. I want to make a point that one of the things we look at is completion rate. And one of the things that this system did, it's quantifiable, is more boys will qualify and earn the merit badge. There's less partials. That means happier scouts. So we track that. And that's one of the reasons we're doing this is, again, so the scouts are happier. Because we have more scouts who can finish the merit badge, who go home feeling that they accomplished something. And so that's part of the reason we moved to this. Because we did look at the numbers, and once we did it 1 year, we saw a marked increase in the amount of completions. So,
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
I think you have
So my son had a lot of partials because he got sick.
Yeah.
So and I think he wants to do different things, but he wants to complete, and he had just a few things to do. So does he need to sign up for those, or can he just drop in and take care of the parts?
So it depends what the merit badge is, and this might be an offline discussion because it's environmental science is going to be very different than archery.
No,
right?
these are kind of basic, like nature and things. There are a couple of.
So I think this is going to be an offline discussion where I would say we have a Friday that's just open in the morning for these kind of things. We have a 1:30 time that's open across camp. So there will be time but it will be, I would recommend you contact me, and I'll put you in contact with the program director so we can get something specific for that specific instance.
Anything else towards the age?
Yeah, so did you say it automatically signs up for the qualified time, or you have to sign up?
Yes.
They're linked.
They're linked.
Linked pairs.
So literally, you can only sign up for, you're signing up for the 9 linked with the 11, or the 9 linked with the 10, so there are 4 permutations.
Yeah, so you're signing up for session 1 and session 2, or session 1 and session 3.
Right.
And that will take it out of your schedule, so you cannot, there's no chance of double booking in the system. There used to be a...
It's a one-on-one. If you take 9 a.m. rifle, you are taking 1:30 qual, but you take one, but you need one of the qualified.
One of the 4 qualified.
Right.
Okay, so one set and one of the other. Okay.
Right. And
Yeah.
if you take shotgun, you immediately take the hour after it as well.
While you're signing up for that
Wait,
class.
that's, sorry.
Shotgun
What do you mean
is-
by the hour after?
Shotgun is very similar. It
It's a session 6 and session 7.
Oh, it's a
3
double
W4.
set.
It's a
Okay,
double
got it,
set.
got it. Okay.
All right, we'll let
That's
Chris
great.
take his
I
notes.
have one more question.
Oh, sure.
This year you have communication days and
That's an us question, that's not a
Oh,
Chris
yeah,
question.
yeah.
vice principal days.
No, they're hours.
2 hours, 2
2 hours.
sessions.
Yeah.
They're,
Yeah, they're like, so one of the things we noticed was with cycling, right? People would take a cycling merit badge, it's 1 hour. What would they do? They would do all of the book requirement that we talked about, safety, then they'd walk away, and they weren't actually getting on a bike, right? And that to me is silly. If you're gonna go into the mountains and you have all these bicycles, if you take cycling, you should get on a bike and go bicycle somewhere in the mountains. And so by doing it as a 2-hour block, it's gonna require them, if they take cycling, they're gonna get on a bike and they're gonna ride all week long. If they take hiking and backpacking, they're gonna hike all week long and have fun games. And so the point isn't they're taking a merit badge. The point is they're getting a great experience and they're learning something. And so that's why some of them are 2 hours long.
Step back one second, back to the age question.
Yes.
We just looked at the leader's guide and the matrix we have in Excel, and neither of them lists the ages of the merit badge requirements in those sheets. So the only place the age requirements listed is in the new.
No.
it's on the handout we gave out.
Yeah.
Far right hand side.
Not every badge has a
Not
If
every
it's a
badge
blank,
has
it's open to all.
it. Yeah.
So in your handout, second page, right hand column.
The other thing I'll point out is we spent time and went through and put a difficulty rating for each of the badges. And
this is through the lens of Andy and Aaron.
So I'll let you know those, and we hit pioneering. And I'm like, pioneering's super easy. Because that was, to me, really easy. And Andy's like, oh no, that's like a 10. It's like as hard as it gets. So
Andy's this tall.
Oh, I mean,
And he bounces.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where we wanted to put a difficulty rating, but it's a generalization, and you know your scouts, and you know what's going to be difficult for them. But we wanted to make it user-friendly so the new troop with the new parents can come in, kind of get a gauge of where things are.
Okay, let's take a pause 1 second. We want to make sure that we're looking at the time for the evening, and we know this is the main subject. That a lot of you really getting the nitty gritty out. I do recognize that, and I do realize that. So raise your hand if you have another question about merit badges that you want to ask. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7. That 8. Okay, 8. So I'm going to take 8 more questions. 8. I can count. I'll teach my son like. And then we're going to move on to finish the couple items that we have, and then we'll answer all the other questions to make sure we get through everything tonight, because we're looking at about another 25 minutes of talking tonight, and then as well give you some time to look around Mel Cotton's before they close, and so we can be good scouts and clean up and not hold the employees here till 10 o'clock.
We get a coupon.
We do get a coupon.
Last year we got a coupon.
Yes, we just wait. There's one question not merit badge related. So I'm going to start in the back and work my way forward. I've got 8, and we're starting with Marty.
Okay, this is about the open period, fourth period.
Correct.
So that's an opportunity for a scout to experience camp, but not really earn a merit badge unless it was one of these little partials. And so he's not signed up for climbing, but he wants some exposure to it. He can wander over there 1:30, climb, and not really get a merit badge, but enjoy camp.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Drop-ins will be open, and one of the things that we're also trying to do is it might be different. So one day we'll be doing climbing, and maybe Tuesday we're climbing, Wednesday we're bouldering, Thursday we're doing cope games. It's just doing different things that a scout's going to say, oh, that's really interesting, and they can go try it out.
Ropes, low cooperative outdoor program experience, I think is the technical acronym.
Below the shoulder.
Below the shoulders, yeah. It's like standing on a slack line. All right, moving our way forward. Next row, questions. Okay, you guys over here, I think, are the got two questions.
We have the same question.
Okay, that's great.
One of the issues that I've always had with every camp for the last several years, about 23, is that we consistently do not, the boys consistently do not bring back their work materials, and I require them, their written materials. I require that of them, and when they don't bring it back to me, I've got to sit there and question them about their written.
If they've got a completed merit badge card, you can't question them.
Oh, yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Okay, we're going to leave this discussion for advancement committee and other
That's
things.
an advancement committee question. That is a Wendy Glasser. Is our Wendy? Okay, I'm going to tell you real quick. Okay, I'm going to do this. Wendy Glasser is our council advancement chairperson. I will tell you her email address. It is scouter54@comcast.net.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a question for her because those are she can tell you the answer to that.
We return all work. We don't keep it.
Yeah, we'll return all
That's all I
work.
want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We can return that.
I'm not going to hold up the merit badge.
Yeah, exactly. We'll return that.
As long as you're not.
Okay, you guys have the same question moving. We had one on this row and then the next row.
Real quick, do you have a soft copy of this handout?
The description?
Yes, it is online under leaders. We have a
That's another
matrix.
slide.
All right, okay, so that doesn't count, that question doesn't count, so move on.
This is my lawyer, I mean, okay.
Under the rules that you stated, that
Yes,
was not
yes.
a merit badge question.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman, yes. You had another question?
No, that was it.
Oh, it doesn't count to the total number of questions. Then here, no, we're still one more row. We'll get to you, yes.
So thank you for this merit badge offering, by the way. This is awesome. This has been a great.
Thank you, Andy Chu.
And that's Andy Chu.
Andy Chu, thank you for the thank you.
My question is, when will we know, what's the timeline to know any costs that might be associated with classes?
Absolutely. So we have a price sheet that I did up last year. Chris will take the note and I'll make it an action to have it by the end of the week. Nothing, so the most expensive thing is shotgun shells. The least expensive thing I think is arrow kits. So $5 to $25 depending. We provide transportation to Pinecrest. We have a very kindly gentleman that works in our office as well. David Donnelly is our transportation director. David's coming back again. We had our Pinecrest bus last year, 15 passengers, 14 people that we can fit. Everybody participates. If we have space, leaders are more than welcome to go up to the lake for with him and come back. Their cell phone reception there.
I will say too about Pinecrest real quick, and I know I'm always talking about programs, I'm really excited. We have our Pinecrest director actually grew up on that lake. He has a cabin there, so like he's just amazing with a boat, and I am super excited to watch him teach these youth how to use, because he knows the lake, he knows small craft, so I think it's gonna be an awesome program.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to having Kevin back with us this year.
A lot of prices out.
Yes. Dave, Bob. Okay, we're to here.
Yeah, my question is, I know you're offering the kayaking and
Canoeing.
canoeing together.
Correct.
And those are two merit badges.
Correct.
But how they can reach the next class if they want to come? Right after the time class, they have to travel time too. To reach the next class, then where is the time?
So in the pricing guide, we figured out the transport time into the merit badge 2-hour block. And they're scheduled so that you're getting back that cuts into a little bit of lunch, or it cuts into a little bit of breakfast, or it cuts in a little bit into dinner, so that it provides for as much program time as possible. So it's on the pricing guide, the bus schedule, it's also in there. So it allows for, as long as they're not doing construction again on Highway 108 and holding our guys up, it'll be accurate and on time.
They weren't?
They were last year, yeah. It really messed with my head. Yes,
Session
sir.
attendance is not equal in every week.
are you doing any adjustments to classes or availability based on
It's
attendance?
actually-
Last year, I think it was week 5 was twice as big as most other sessions.
I would say this year, we're actually pretty dang close every
Okay,
week.
Great. That's good to
So
hear.
I've warned my staff, last year, week 1, they kind of had a nice, easy transition. This year, we're full almost every week.
Okay.
And we put a cap in place, so we're not gonna be seeing more than 9 a table. And we thought we'd have less kids. But our end of weeks are filling up, so we're gonna pretty much equal what we did last year. It's just that we're not gonna have a high and low. We're just gonna be pretty high every week. So it will be even.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question though. I understand.
And one of the things that Andy and Aaron and people, we really try to make sure that if you have a special case, if you have that 17-year-old, or you have that scout that has a special need, or you have that scout that the only reason that they're really coming to camp is to complete this or do that. We bend over backwards to make you guys happy. Anybody that's brought a large troop to camp in the last couple of years, I would believe that they would say that we've taken care of you in camp. We're not going to guarantee more than we can do ahead of camp, but as we see how everything shakes out, if we need to move staff around to make something work, we do it. We really try to make as many people as possible happy, and we'll work with each of you to get that special case addressed and make sure we take care of you. All right. I'm under my 8 questions, so I got 2 left.
Not a merit.
Not a merit question.
And we published the requirements for the state board on the website in advance as well.
Yes. Doug is working on year 3 requirements.
Bob needs another gadget.
Well, the biggest thing is to make sure.
Another cog.
Well, yeah, the main thing is like last year, the requirements for the second year, one of the requirements was bring donations to the camp.
But we didn't
Nobody
publish it.
did-
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody knew about that until you got to camp, so.
Okay, so I've got a follow-up question. I'll hold up my finger, or follow-up comment. Sage Awards, you've got the note? Sage Awards year 3?
Yep.
I visited camp yesterday. I went and saw Alan. And I left at 9, I got back at 9. That wasn't just a 5-minute trip. The thing that we're looking for this year is $75 per campsite to put up permanent awnings with 4 stakes, rope, and clips for shade structures in every campsite, and we're hoping to do that in every program area as well.
We have a slide about that.
Okay, perfect.
Just let me know.
But I found out the price, and I've got nice pictures that I'm going to post tomorrow when my cell phone's not dead for what they look like. That could be a donation for the Sage Award, and it's something that we're looking to work towards by having all areas and everything completed by the end of the summer, including Memorial Day, adopted campsite, and other things.
Do we have any more Merit Badge questions?
Yeah, we can move on this way.
Okay.
Here you go.
All right.
Now I can get rest.
Yeah, all right. So I will let you know, we talk about where documents are. It's camp-high-sierra.org/leaders.html. Or if you just go to the website and click leaders, it will bring you to where the important documents are right now. So the leaders guide is up. The 2013 course offering is up. Now you already have a soft copy of the course offering, or a hard copy of that. There's a soft copy online. We have a campership application, and I think this is something really important. We do a lot of work to get the funds to have camperships for scouts that need it. And every year, and now I'm going to plug this as well, we do a holiday auction where we have a nice dinner and we auction off a lot of memorabilia, and all the donations go to camperships. So we have a great campership fund. Michael is running it this year, so if you have any old scout memorabilia you want to donate, it goes to our campership funds. If you want to show up, we can talk about it, but there are camperships, the application is there. SPL Week application. Please sign your SPL for SPL Week. It's great. They get an extra week of camp. So when you're there with your SPL, he can actually be an SPL. He's not trying to earn 6 merit badges and go to Pinecrest. He's there to work with his boys and be a leader. I'm just working with the SPLs and the CITs and a couple other things, so we have a special program for them with someone who is hired for that. He's from Bruce's troop. You can ask him, Bruce, about that later, but I'm really excited about that.
If I pop up a piece of advice on the SPL program, if you don't have an SPL that wants to come, your SPL will still need advice. They will need advice from someone you could call an SPL advisor. Take advantage of the one free person. It's one free person, right? Not one free SPL only. So if you can't send your SPL, send the next guy.
And it can be any week over the weeks.
Any weeks over the weeks. The only caveat is we only have so many tents in SPL Village to house them. The deadline is 6/1, but they sign up like everybody else, 5/1. So I think to date we've got about 10 SPLs signed up for camp, and there are like 60 troops coming to camp. So there's definitely room to help fill this, but you want to make sure that they can get their merit badges as well. So talk to me offline and we'll get them set up.
Okay. The other thing is t-shirt orders are there. We have a new t-shirt design that is someone doing Foxfire-y stuff. And then you can get them printed so it'll have your troop number on the arm, on the sleeve. So it'll be specific to your troop. And then what happens is the company you're going with actually bundles them for us. So when you get in camp, we just have a package with your troop number on it. With how many you order, we just hand it to you, and you have a nice package, and you get it to your boys. So if you're interested, the order form is there as well. There's a couple different colors. I think there's 3 different colors you can choose from. And again, you can put the troop number on the sleeve.
Deadline is 5/31, around midnight as well. So that's when you have to participate because they go out to print at that point as well. They're $12.50 here. There'll be at least $2.50 more in the trading post, not as pre-order. So pre-order allows us to get the best deal possible. So take advantage of this if you want to. I really like the troop on the sleeve. This company is a new one to us, but they've seen a lot of units really like the program.
So those
Any
are
questions before we move on to this?
Yeah. Yeah, the farther back. Yeah.
Yes.
When do we get the shirts?
You can get them first day you check in. First day you check in. If you want us to hold it to the last day or a Friday, which is a common request, we'll do that as well. A clean shirt to go home is reasonable.
Yeah.
I've always been a driver first time I'm staying there. Can I leave my car there?
Yeah.
Because I looked through the leader's guide, I didn't mention see anything about parking.
Yes,
So that's what I was asking.
yes, you can. There's
Okay.
parking.
Are they cotton or are they a blend?
May not be able to get it out right away.
I believe they're a blend.
Just
I believe they're either a 5.1 or a 6.1 and a blend. I will have samples at the office if you want to come and look at them. Let me know and we'll show you what they look like and what the materials are. And I'll take a picture of the tag and put it online.
Other website questions or document questions?
Perfect.
All right, payment. I've had a couple questions about payment schedules. I'll just let you know currently it's $150 per youth is the amount we're at right now to be paying on time. Full payment is due June 1st. Troop now, Michael's going to be chuckling about this because I am from a troop that has never paid on time. I'm in a troop where 2 days before camp we're doing a fundraiser, so I am the worst example of this. But if you have an early bird discount and you fail to pay by June 1st, you will lose the early bird discount. So again, please pay on time just for that reason. We want you to get your full discount. Maureen.
So in the 21 to 30 scout range, we get 3 free
Yes.
adults. Are we required to have 3 adults?
No.
This is a
No.
2-minute.
Yeah. So the
I'm trying to
adult
get myself in
fees
trouble.
are a little different. You have every troop has 1 free adult. No matter what, if you have 2 boys coming up, if you have 50, you have 1 free at first, and then it increases with the more youth you have. So if you have a troop with 11 to 20 youth, you have 2 free. 21 to 30, 3 free.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and it goes up from there. Now, other adults can come up. I know a lot of troops just have, a parent who wants to come up for 2 days. It's $150 for the non-free adults for the full week, or $25 a day.
I thought it was 175.
I pulled it off the website. So it's all on the website.
Leave the reservation form rules. That's what happens.
And so again, I would really recommend, because I'm really excited about the adult training. if you have a parent that wants to come for the full week, get them in the full week, sign them up for the training, get a leader out of it. I know you're all concerned about your JTE scores, and you're concerned about providing a good quality program. Train leaders do it. So especially if a new parent who just bridged in, maybe they used to be a den leader, maybe they used to be a cub master, get them in. Get them through OLS in the morning, Scoutmaster specific in the evening, they're trained up and ready to go.
Once you're fully trained, what else do you have for us?
Okay.
Sage.
So we do have, if you look in the book, we do offer a variety of trainings. The only trainings we schedule for adults are OLS and Scoutmaster Pacific. And that's just because those trainings take that much time, right? So OLS is every day in the morning until lunch, and Scoutmaster Specific is 2:30 until about dinner. And the schedule's there. So you have to sign up for those. Now the great thing, and I'll get to your questions about this, is normally to do OLS, you have to take a couple weekends off and pay. There's no extra fee for this. We don't charge you any extra. If you're one of the free adults, you can do it for free. This is just part of you coming to camp. That's okay. And you're taking your 1 week off.
And it's okay to sit in the hammock too.
Yeah, and if you don't want to, if you have an adult who just doesn't want to, that's fine. We will offer other trainings. We do YPT. We usually get a merit badge counselor session. We'll try to get leave no trace in there. We do a whole bunch of trainings, and those are kind of daily. We rotate through.
I was just going to say that all the adults can participate in the private High Sierra as well. So that's something else that's always
Yeah.
So the 1 hour adult trainings, are they going to be during the 1:30 time?
I'm still working with our commissioner on that.
Typically, they've been like 2 or 2:30. They don't follow the same merit badge session. They're typically after mid-afternoon, so that
That's his nap on safety.
nap on safety. Yeah, we've tried to change it so that you can do both the morning OLS and that. So we try.
Also, to be honest, like doing OLS and Scoutmaster Specific all at once, it's a
Oh,
lot of work. It's a good experience. I did OLS at High Sierra a couple of years ago before I was a professional. One thing I really liked is that when you do OLS at High Sierra, you learn the skill, and it says, hey, here's 4 kids. Now help them learn it. As opposed to if you go to Sheesboro, I'm not dissing anyone in the training committee, you know, it's like you learn it with a couple other adults. You kind of, I'm guessing, I don't know. I imagine a bunch of adults sitting in chairs and, oh, isn't that great? And they chuckle and drink tea or something.
We're not talking OWL. We're talking OLS.
OLS. So
Well, last year
No, I'm
what they
just
did,
kidding.
which was really good, is the OLS went down to trail and taught the kids at trail first class. So it was that way both of them got it.
It's a great program.
yeah. And the Scoutmaster will be taught by Doug Wiley, who's been an ASM probably longer than I've been alive. So we do have people who are experienced. They know what they're doing. I'm really looking forward to that program.
Any other questions before we move to the next slide? Yes, sir, in the back.
The other adult training, it says the water safety and paddlecraft safety, those look like they're time intensive, that's all week in the morning?
Yes, I believe so. They're a youth and adult because they're a 16 age or older course, so they can be taken by youth. It's kind of that blend. I think they're a morning class in my memory.
Yeah.
So because High Sierra has the warmest water in the world, so we don't want to get you in there too early. Question? Yes, absolutely. Bring one share.
All right. So real quick. Oh, sorry. You have a question? Okay. I want to talk a little bit about Adopt a Campsite Weekend. How many people have been to Adopt a Campsite Weekend before? So Adopt a Campsite Weekend, I don't want to make it sound like the ordeal. It's actually kind of fun. It's a little bit of a party. Essentially, right now it's $10 a person. You come up. We provide meals from Saturday lunch through Monday breakfast. You have a registration sheet in your packet. You can work on your campsite. So a lot of it is you get to make your campsite better. So $394 is in
Arapahoe.
Right?
Yes.
And that has like the best benches, right? Like you sit in that campsite like, oh man, this is nice. Because $394 over the years has come up. They've done service for camps. They've put up benches. And you know, they've had projects that they want to work on. and we try to help you do that. So it's actually a lot of fun. You get a patch.
A rocker.
So eventually, if you want to be Bob Barrelman and how many rockers you have, you need to adopt a campsite because it's big. It says adopt a campsite.
It doesn't fit when you get to the third ring.
Small details.
Yeah, exactly. So you do get a rocker. It's a lot of fun, and you're there with a lot of other scouters who just want to do service and really give back. It's $10. You get enough meals. So there's a registration sheet. If you have any questions, you can talk to Michael about it. I'm going to breeze through that. Some important pre-camp preparation to talk about real quick. This is stuff that's important because it just holds people up. It makes everyone frustrated, especially you, when it happens. So remember, if you have a youth or adult staying more than 72 continuous hours, they must have a medical form.
A, B, and C mode.
The A, B, and C. So if you have a parent that comes up for half a day, they need that medical form. The A, B, and C. 72 hours is that time limit. Now, when the troop arrives, get the medical forms out. Don't have the kids bury them in their pack. You need the medical forms on arrival, so have them accessible. Don't forget to check that they have the tetanus immunization. That's a big one. Camp High Sierra used to be a logging mill. The tetanus immunization is required.
So that they want a date, not a check mark.
Yes.
Sorry,
No, it's great.
Cover that or not, but they.
Yeah.
Within 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it had to be current. We had a kid that was a thing last year, and I had to call his mom and figure it out. Yeah.
Drive down and get a shot at the.
We have done it.
Yeah. A lot of prescriptions have to be in the original bottle, not a baggie. Not my wife, for chronic condition, has pills in like a little pill container. That I want to be nice, but you know, old people have the long pill containers. My wife does that, right? No, you need the original bottle. So our and prescribed to the boy. Yeah, you can't bring your sister's medication. Oh, I got the same thing.
Current in date.
Exactly.
Current in date.
In the bottle.
We are there's a licensed medical person that will only distribute as it says on the bottle and all those fun things. Yes, sir.
I have questions about the medicine stuff.
Yeah.
So if they have over-the-counter medication they take, does that need to be checked in?
It's 3,000.
So like last 2 years I've been up there, it's been different. Last year they said, take it back to your campsite.
Dr. Khan wants to see it on your medical form if it's over the counter. There are some medications that he requires the scouts have on their person. EpiPens, albuterol inhalers, and diabetes medications.
Dr.
Those
Khan,
they have to have it on their person and it has to be on the medical form. So over the counter, they've been a little loose in the past about letting the scoutmaster hang on to it. They don't want kids running around with baggies of pills. It makes Doc nervous. But it has to be on the medical form.
So over-the-counter needs to be on the form, but the boys can keep it?
The boys can't keep it.
The
The
boys
Scoutmaster
can.
Unless it's one of those three that must be on the boys' person, diabetes, albuterol, and EpiPens.
And is there any way, this is the second question on the same topic, is there any way that like one adult can go up with all the prescription drugs and check them in instead of having all the boys standing there in the sun for 2 hours trying to get that done?
So we have a medical check-in procedure that's run through Doc Kahn, who's the council physician in the risk management. That procedure is basically the state of California and the Boy Scouts of America require a health screening, and that has to be done. So basically, we form a check-in. If you have certain things that have happened to you recently, you see the doctor. If you don't, you stand to the side while your troop finishes your portion and then moves on.
The short answer is that's out of our control.
Okay.
That is what our council doctor says, and we follow that. Cool.
Questions? Moving on.
Yay! So, quick point about camp property update. Scoutcraft fell down. Hooray! So the old Scoutcraft building, it fell down. It had a rough winter.
Is that log thing?
Yeah, the log thing. So I have to say this because I remember when that building was built, and a guy from my troop, my SPL, actually had his name carved in one of the original logs on the bottom, right? And it used to be like that tall. It used to be a really big structure, and over the years, it's gotten slowly smaller and smaller. This year, it fell down Scoutcraft has moved over behind where the bike barn used to be. Last weekend, we had 6 staff members, including Chris Murphy, went up to help. It's a really nice area. They put in more tables. We're going to have some shade structures. There's a huge sink. It's a lot more spacious. So there's a lot more room for cooking, room for doing things. It's right by Blackfoot. So when they pioneer, they can just walk over to Blackfoot. It's going to be a nice area. That means that excursions will shift. Don't ask me where just yet, because we're working on that. But the excursions or the old sports practice is going to shift over because Scoutcraft is kind of taking that area. We've added room onto the edge of archery, so there's more instructor room, there's more tables there. We're on a table building kick, so we're putting more tables in all the areas. But the properties are looking good. I went up there, so Michael went yesterday, and I went on Saturday. It's looking good. One thing that the man in back, Bruce Lee's been doing, we've been pulling tents down, washing them, and repairing them. So it's a huge project. I think we've done 3 campsites now?
No, we've done more than that. We've done 60 tents.
We've done 60 tents, and we're moving on. We're buying some new tents.
We have one new tent per campsite.
Yeah, we're gonna buy at least we're buying one new tent per campsite. What we've been doing is we take the tents in, and it's really labor intensive. Bruce has been doing an amazing job. They're hosed down, they're washed off that way, and then they're inspected. The bigger, the more problematic holes are being sent to a canvas repair facility to be repaired. The smaller ones, we have an epoxy patch that's heat activated, or we're in both sides are being epoxied together. So we're spending a lot of time getting the tents in better condition. We're buying new ropes, we're buying zip ties for the little engine flaps. So we're trying to make sure the tents are a little better. We're buying some new plywood. It's a big process. It's not all we finished this year, but we're moving campsite to campsite. One thing we found, and this is surprising. What do you think causes the most holes? Pocket knives. Just pocket knives. And so as we're repairing tents, we're going to be paying more attention to when we start seeing pocket knives. And they're all just right where you lay down, and you can just go like that. There's just a range right there of pocket knife holes. So we're going to spend a little more time this year as we repair them to make sure. The other thing is we've hired an assistant ranger. And I think one of his functions is we're working on a rig so we can have a generator and that hooks up to an iron so we can fix tents during the week. So he can, isn't that insane? We're gonna get a generator for one iron so we can iron stuff on. And so we will have repairs during the week as well. It's one of our focuses, the campsites. The ordeal, we're really focusing again on doing campsite repairs during the ordeal. And then I really love, since I used to be a house painter, we'll be painting some of the buildings again. Because I was a house painter and it just freaks me out when it's a chipping paint. So we're trying our best to make camp more like your home. So
With your list of projects available before adopt campsite?
Yes.
An actual written list so we can
Yes.
correct tools up?
Yes.
Yes.
Saying yes.
Yeah.
That has not happened in the past.
I talked to Alan yesterday. I spent 6 hours with Alan yesterday and walking through camp, seeing what's going on, and that was part of our discussion was list. So we've distributed coupons for tonight. I said 8:30, excuse me. So we got about 2 more minutes to that time. We'll take general questions, and then those that want to come up and see us individually, we'll go from there. So working from the back front, we'll answer questions and then dismiss as a group. And Aaron and I are here until close, and go from there. Yes, Marty.
So you talk about the hiking Merritt Badge River, and they're going to be hiking to the Clavey River.
That's an option.
Okay, and do they leave from Camp High Sierra, or do they get bused somewhere?
They leave from Camp High Sierra. It's a Thursday excursion.
Okay, thank you.
Thursday morning, get back Friday.
Yep.
Is it Thursday lunchtime or
Thursday lunch.
Thursday after lunch.
After lunch.
Is the Tribe of High Sierra in effect, and what are the requirements and how this takes care of?
Tribe of High Sierra is a 5-year program? 4. Thank you. And it recognizes other camps. If you are an equivalent, You've gone to many camps. If you've earned tribe at the other camps, we'll recognize equivalent things. So if I was a tribe in the chief in the tribe of Esalen, which is Pecos, and I'm now a chief in the tribe of High Sierra. I can add those sentences together. So we do recognize it. We'll take the note. We have a tribal guide that David Donnelly helped us with in previous years. We'll post that and make sure that it gets distributed.
So that'll be available to
That
us
will be
before
available and give us about a week.
Thank you.
There's a small section where we're trying to do better about breaking it out. The requirement sheet's in there in the leader's guide with an updated year, but that's about it.
Okay. I just had something quick about the knives thing. I mean, you should just have a big announcement. Don't do that, boys. And if it happens, they get to fix the tent.
So we'll have a procedure and work with you individually on making that, because we want homes for the 5 weeks to be equivalent. Yes, ma'am.
We send boys out for the leadership the week before. Is there a provision that they stay overnight at the
Yes. So High Sierra has it's a long ways. From here it's 3.5. From you guys it's probably like 8. 5.5 maybe. So for that is we have a duty staff, 2 over 18-year-olds, 2 over 21-year-olds of the staff themselves. They all sign up for a weekend during the summer, and they stay, they cook, they make sure that they don't catch the camp on fire or themselves, and we promise to return them in reasonably good health.
Is there another expense for these boys?
No. We're feeding them leftovers. They won't starve. Rennie is the cook. If you've been in camp in the past, Rennie Wright's our cook this year.
Same one as last year?
No.
One is 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, he's a cook at the German house at Stanford. That's where he works.
This is his 4th or 5th year cooking at our camp, so he knows the kitchen.
Yeah, very good food.
Yeah,
that was very good chef.
Yeah, he's.
Can't be any worse.
So
yes, we need to be able to swim. We need to be
So we've done different levels. So what it is there is a polar bear that does require you to swim, where you actually swim out. But a lot of it also is, if you've been to our lake,
it's the warmest thing ever.
It's shallow. So a lot of it is, we do have a polar bear where you run across the non-swimmer area. And by run, actually it's rocky, so you're really just going like this. And then you sing a song, and you go back and you sing a song. So non-swimmers can be accommodated.
What song?
It depends on the whim of the week.
Depends on what they want.
All right, we're out of time, so last question, one more. Okay, there we go.
Bee program, do they just show up to the open session or the bees?
Beads up. It is during your 1:30 session that's common, that they're doing the skill of the day is what we call it, which is open program time, and each area has a different skill of the day depending every day of the week. Yeah, 1:30.
Yeah. And then there's also some of the beads are for service, and that can be on their free time, or different beads have a different time, and your commissioner will help you when you're there that week figure that out.
And explain anything more in detail tonight and ask him individually.
So I just want to end. Thank you everyone for coming. If you have any questions, come talk to me, Michael.